set of music that has been sent to me by um, South African, well, let me just African producers and musicians, and they send it to me, and I go ahead and curate what for the next 2 hours, what I feel people want to hear, and the good thing for me is that I don't go ahead and spend any time talking on the mic. I just want the music to go ahead and be, the star of the show. Um, Folks don't need to hear my voice, even though many have told me that it sounds good, on the mic. But I'm like, that's okay. I've done that enough throughout the years. Um, I tend to sometimes be on Twitch. Sometimes I'm on Instagram. Even though you can find me promoting something as far as music goes on Instagram, on Facebook, things like that. If I'm traveling, more than likely I'm DJing somewhere. Like recently when I went on my honeymoon, I wound up doing a 2 hour DJ set in Luquillo, Puerto Rico, and that was a
That's
lot of fun. Because my one of my friends was selling their restaurant, so they had this whole big promotion for that, and they wanted me to go ahead and play. So I was like, great, no problem.
and you went to New York, I remember a couple of years back, and you were up there for the New York Fashion Show, and the
Yeah,
big, kingpin disc jockey bailed and wasn't going to show up and do his work, and they said, "Hey, Orlando, would you mind doing like the whole week of New York Fashion Week?" And you did.
yeah, that was a lot of fun there. I was just there to support one of my friends, and because he had invited me up. And when I say invited me up, I presently live in DC, but even though I still call New York my home. And I went up, and one of the houses was having their fashion show, for a whole, buyers and a whole bunch of different people. Come to find out, I think maybe half an hour before the whole thing was supposed to start, the DJ was bailed, and my friend was supposed to DJ, but he just, he was like, "Look, I'm only there to go ahead and do about an hour. I'm not going to go ahead and spend the next 4 hours." So they asked me if I wanted to do it. I said, "Sure." I always carry music with me all the time, so I did that.
Yeah, I know they really appreciated it having you
Yeah,
step
and
in.
it was a lot of fun. No, nobody had heard my Afro Cuban style, and even the models were all into it and everything else. So it was really really fun to go ahead and do that. I'm up in New York actually to go ahead and do with some friends a community party up in the Bronx on July 15th. So that's going to be really good. And Saturday I'm DJing over at a place called Simple Bar here in DC, um, and that should be a lot of fun there as well. I if I get a chance to DJ, great. If not, it's always music, and it's always helping people. So that's what I like to do.
Yeah, yeah, and you do such a good job at it too. Guys, I want to share with you that yesterday on Kiva, we did invest into Yamante Group in Peru. If we go back to Monday for Latin American Investment Week, of course, we started with Costa Rica, and we did a coffee farm. And then Tuesday, we jumped right in there in Honduras and did actually a group of people that Orlando picked. Both of them 100% financed, 100% of their loan immediately. I think about 10 hours. Yesterday, we opened up a tough one. Might be our toughest of the week. I'm going to go there now. Let's take a look at it, everybody. Here we go. Yamante Group in Peru. This is all the way down in South America. I know it's a toughie, everybody, but we need you to invest in Diamante. They've got 12 days to go, about 5,800 still yet. This loan is going to help buy sewing supplies and continue to repair customers' clothing and create new designs. Open 15 years. This is their 38th investment cycle. There's actually 11 members in this group. Just this photo is featuring the board of directors, the president, treasurer, and secretary, led by Maria. She's 50 years old and has 3 children. And like I said, for 15 years, she has had her sewing business, sewing clothes. Her biggest dream and challenge is making a clothing store, and having a store is also her biggest dream. So this one is going. This will affect, of course, Victor Fernando, Dani Antero, Alexandra Maria, Fiorella Antonia, Jessica Giovanni, Lita Iris, Gabrielle, Maria Petruzga, Dari Hame, and Narciso. So these are the 11 members who believe this loan is special because it empowers women through community support and financial training. More about this loan and information from Peru with the Bank Cooperativa de Ahorro y Crédito Microfinanzas Prisma, CUPAC FMP, is here on the website. And if you're looking to lend $5, please jump in and feel free to do that. You can do as little as $5. Okay. What would end up happening is on your selector switch here, you would change that down to 5. So we've had a lot of people mention, hey, I'm not into doing these $25 at a time. Patty, what do you think about this new feature?
I like it because, again, it's baby steps, right? Even if it's not a matter of, well, I don't have the money. It's a matter of, well, I'm not sure. I don't want to risk a lot. It's a great way to dabble and get to know the system without a high risk. So I just love it. And also for the people who are a little bit more on a budget, but they want to be in the investment game, or they just want to pay it forward and stay in there like we do. Again, I like the preference of having those options.
Yeah, and remember, it's a loan. It's not a donation. So you'll be getting your money back. And on this one, they are covering the currency loss of the American dollar. So you're not going to have any currency loss. You can see right there, I'm one of the contributing lenders. We have 19 lenders on this particular loan. And we've got 9 lending teams total so far, including Nerd Fighters. So that was good to see them jump in. Of course, 43,000 members in Nerd Fighters. Lendio is on board. And the Atheists are back again with their 35,000 members. Also, Friends of the Church of Jesus Christ Church of the Latter-day Saints, almost 2,000 members. So just jump in on this one. I'm going to shoot over there. Let me put that link up. What do you think, Patty? So people can see it?
Yeah, I was just thinking, okay, so you might say like to yourself, well, how do I become part of your team? Well, they make it really easy where your profile is, there's a little drop down and there's going to say a word teams. And if you don't have one, you'll be able to join one, or just follow us on social, and then it will immediately give you an opportunity to accept being on our team. That will be the easiest way. But otherwise, you can also search our name, USPSC, and we'll come up. So there's multiple ways to join our team, but certainly I invite you because it's beautiful to see the big teams come together for one cause.
And anybody that would want to email me, just feel free. I'll get you the information about joining the United States Presidential Service Center team. This is an 8-month loan. It's going to be paid back fast. And like I said, the currency loss is being covered for the American dollar. So don't worry about that one. The bank has agreed to cover as I know this angers people sometimes. They lose 40 cents on their $5 donation. Remember, it's not a donation, it's a loan. But they get back $4.60 repayment, and they're like, oh, I lost 40 cents, Marty. I was pissed over the currency loss. So don't worry about that with this one. There's
I
no
want to
currency.
highlight something else, Marty, about the teams, that you also put in messages in there. So that's another way to stay connected on what's going on. Or if you're having an experience, again, the team is really valuable on so many levels, because again, you're seeing what other people are doing, and then you're able to comment, ask questions, and we do a lot of vetting. So if you see what we're doing, we could promise you that we're leading you in the best way possible. Again, there's always a risk involved because it is investment, but we go with lowest risk possible.
Sure. And I'll just jump in there to the portfolio. And up here, you can see my teams. If you want to look at my teams, I have a public portfolio. I have my photograph. I have information about myself. These are all the teams I belong to. This is our team here, the United States Presidential Service Center. We are a certified team. And these are the messages Patty was just talking about in here. So like I could actually reply to this and put, hey, everybody, we just did, let me see, that would be Wednesday's loan in Peru. And I'll put an exclamation point. And I can bump that down and even put a link to that. Now, when you click send reply, it's going to go on ahead and put, not only will it put like your message here underneath the featured message, but look, I put that link in there and it automatically gives you a snapshot. Here was Claudio Augustin from Costa Rica. He was Monday. He's 100% funded his coffee farm. I didn't even get a chance to put the Honduras in there because it was funded so fast.
That was great to see.
Yeah. So this is where we all talk back and forth with one another. Here's Patty making a comment. This is all inside Kiva. Right now we do have 88 members on our team, and you can see all of them here. And when somebody joins, they'll come in with a request to join. They're interested in joining. We do recommend that you put a photo and some information about yourself. And, here's Abraham. So he put the reason, that he's loaning is to help less privileged people in rural communities and to continue their farming work. He's an entrepreneur and youth activist. So you can kind of do a profile about yourself if you would like to. And, it helps like that. People get a chance to see who you are and what you're all about and what you're interested in. Also, if they see a loan or a process like for entrepreneurs, they may contact you. You can also do private messaging here to one another. And so, this is quite handy. If you're not into investing, we still encourage you to join us. We want you to watch what we do and see what we do and take a look at what's going on. Feel free to spend upwards of a year. You'll get all types of charts to analyze your portfolio with. Here, this is a male-female gender chart of our investments. We're mostly invested, as you can see, in females over time. And you can either do this through pie charts if you want to analyze your portfolio, or you prefer line charts, you understand those better, or stacked areas. It's completely up to you. Other reports by region, if you want to analyze your personal investments across Africa, Middle East, Central Europe, you can do that. Let's take a look at it with a pie chart for the Presidential Service Center and how we're doing with our investments. This is a beta feature currently being worked on more and more. And there you can see like why we're having the Latin America Week this week. We have done so many investments, right, Patty, into Africa. Yeah. You guys can
And
see.
I like to see the return borrower too. That really matters because they're taking it seriously and they're making a life out of it and a community out of it. And the teams I'm noticing the groups are getting bigger. There used to be more solopreneurs and maybe partners. Now you're seeing groups. So it's really, really beautiful.
Yeah. And by country, this can also give you a lot of information depending on how you perceive information, whether it's over time or by pie. Different minds think different ways. So here you can see Kenya is a big contender. Our largest number of loans have gone into Kenya. United States is second, quickly followed by Honduras, Ghana, the Democratic Republic of the Congo, Cambodia, and you can see there it's getting smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller into Turkey and Mozambique and Jordan. So, you can analyze by the banks you work with. These are all the different banks that we have worked with so far. Slice has been the biggest one. And the 1 Acre Fund, they're very popular in Kenya. Gender, we looked at your sectors. Also this week, we've been trying to diversify our sectors. We're very strong because I'm a chef in agriculture and food and retail, but we've done hundreds of thousands of dollars in health. So this is really helpful for you to kind of take a look at your portfolio. And then we have an About Us page, of course. So we should probably just run in there then, and let's see real quick. I know we all have to jump today early. Where are we headed, Orlando? You want to go to Central America or South America?
Let's go with Central.
Central, okay. In Central America today, we have 23 open loans in Costa Rica, 494 open loans in El Salvador, 87 in Guatemala, 245 Honduras, 135 Nicaragua, and 17 in Panama. Who you want to support today?
Let's go with Panama today.
Okay, Panama. We've never done anything in Panama. Let's see what we got. When you come in here, guys, we often recommend tinkering with the statistics. And let me show you how we do that. We do that by just going over to the left, and we've got some sliders here that we can use. And so first one we always turn on, we want to do loans with partners through bank vetting. We typically run this risk rating down to as low as 2.0 to see how low we can go. It's like the limbo. 2 is about the lowest. We're down to 17 loans. You can see there, if we leave it back up on 5, we're at 17 loans. So it looks like the risk rating is low. Let's try to see if we can get, what if we try for 1.5? Whoa, 1. Ooh, I think we lost everybody.
Yeah, I mean, we got a whole bunch of folks that are still starting out.
Yep, 1.5 is about the lowest, and we can put the default rate. We've been putting this down to as low as like 6% default rate. See how low we can get this. 7.3, 6.7. Woo, that's really low, man. How we doing? We're still at 17 loans. You can see here we're at 6% default rate. We've got a risk rating of 1.5. So here now we can actually look at maybe Orlando has a sector that he's interested in. We got food.
There's only 2 right now that are looking pretty good. There is Luzmila who's looking to buy freezers and refrigerators for a seafood distribution business. And she's actually, she's asking for $3,000 worth of help. She has 1125 left to go, and then
yeah, she's a proactive entrepreneur in San Bartolo. Yeah, I like, when people are doing things that can sell every day. She's selling traditional ice cream, empanadas, crafts. She works part-time as a cleaner. She's doing like 2 jobs.
Yeah, so that's the only
she's got 66 different lenders already helping her.
Right.
23 lending teams. The Team Obama's on there. The Republicans are on there. Nerd Fighters is in there again.
He's doing pretty good. Yeah, I don't know what you and Patty think.
Well, Nexus is doing something unique here. She's planting an organic cocoyam. Ophelina is, of course, got a food store. This is in property and housing. We've not normally done anything in that. Maribel del Carmen. She's trying to build a house for her family. Wow. Look at this. Clementina wants to buy an oven and a pastry display. This is to start a micro enterprise. Looks like in photography with Alina. A fast food street restaurant. Grass-fed cattle. He wants to buy cattle. Farming micro enterprise. And then you've got an ice cream shop. Secondhand taxi, food store, build a house for his family. The ones, building a house for your family, I don't know how that's going to be tough to pay back, in my opinion.
Right.
How are you going to make money off that to pay it back? Not that it's not a wonderful thing, but maybe it should be on like GoFundMe or something. I'm sure there's somebody that would say you're wrong. You're dead wrong, Marty. You should.
Yeah, I don't see the viability in that. Like you said, how are you going to go ahead and pay this back now that you've gotten the money? They probably are not understanding that hey, this is a loan which you have to go ahead and pay back. So they're probably thinking about it as a GoFundMe, and
honestly, Orlando, the one I think that has the greatest chance of success really is that first one you picked, to buy the freezers and refrigerators for her seafood distribution business.
Right.
And I'll tell you why I feel that way, because she's in business already. It's something different with fish selling. It's eco-friendly. She's got a very little bit amount of money to go compared to, look at everyone else has got a long haul.
Yeah, exactly.
And we really put our foot in our mouth yesterday by investing in that one investment, because it's got about $6,000 to go. We stand a chance at failing. So, picking something that is close that we could jump in and help with might be smart. And really, when you think about it that way, Patty, how do you feel?
I say go for it. I was going to ask at the beginning, like, what is holding Orlando back? Why are you hesitant? Let's do this.
Okay, let's do it. Here we go. I'm jumping in. I'm in for $25 today. I don't care if you're in for $5. Continue to check out. Remember, getting it done is the biggest part of the game. Right here, like Patty said, make sure you use your selector switch to pick the Presidential Center. This is the team that's doing this. I am going to throw in $4.50 that I'm never going to get back again. That is going to be received by me on an IRS 501c3 donation to Kiva which is a 501c3. So I will get some credit for it with my accountant. But the 450 covers due diligence, borrower due diligence, partner training, site maintenance, and more for Kiva. This is how Kiva stays in business. The total cost to me is going to be $29.50. You'll hit the continue button. You may have to sign in again. Don't be afraid about that. Kiva's not dumb and stupid. It sometimes double asks you to sign in again, guys. Don't worry about that. And then you will.
And by the way, Marty, I just want to say, talking about business, I have to run. I have some business.
Thank you, Patty.
And, I'm going to be on the lookout in a little bit when I have a break in between the clients today. We have back-to-back clients. I will be following up and joining the team on investing. Orlando, good pick. Farewell, everybody.
Thank you so much, Patty. Patty is at her shop today, by the way, guys, in New York City. She is a serial entrepreneur, and Patty, of course, is also owning an entire shop for doing all types of hair and hair treatments and coloring. Almost 30 years in business, so this is super, super, super important, and keeps her busy. I'm going to share that on Facebook that we have invested in her, and as part of my story as well for Los Mia. And thank you again for helping us, Orlando.
Not a problem. I dropped my $25, and it's great.
All right.
I've always said if I got it, I'll go ahead and do it. So people need to understand that the 25, if you can't do $25, that's fine. You can go ahead and hit the little drop-down menu, and you can go as little as $5. And always think about it as that you're paying it forward. There's always been something that's happened in your life that somebody has done for you. And you might have gone ahead and in between then and now going through some rough times and everything else. Look at the blessing that you would go ahead and give somebody when you go ahead and do this. So as little as $5 or as much as you want to go ahead and give past that is always good. You're helping somebody out. You might not be in their face directly, but again, this is a loan. So you're helping them achieve what their goal is. And one day, you might have a goal and you might need somebody to help you. So
exactly,
it's always good.
And we had that happen with Dr. Shannon Stewart and Nurse Willie Stewart, the Marine, down in Tampa, Florida. They're members of Rotary, our club. They said, we're going to borrow $13,000 from Kiva. Would you guys support us? And we whipped up a drum. They rang in like 22 days early. They were fully funded 100,000. I'm sorry, 100% at $13,000. Nice thing was, it was nice to see that they realize they're going to pay this back quickly, and you could come back again for 13,000 more. You can build your business with us every 8 months, with another boost to get to the next level, which, some people were looking at what we did in Africa with the artist. He wanted $7,000. He does all the masks and he paints them with the wood in Ghana. Very successful. Another $7,000 for him. He's buying more nameplates, more wood, more paints to continue to grow his business bigger and bigger and bigger. So whatever you guys need out there, please just let us know. We would love to support you. It's not that hard to get listed on Kiva and to get approved. It's not that difficult. All right. Well, we are going to jet on out. See you tomorrow, Sal, at 11 o'clock. It's the last day of Latin American Investment Week. And thank you guys so much. Take care. Thank you for joining us on the Presents Streaming Network.